Hello, my dear listeners. My name is Kishore Ganesh, and in this episode of the Vocal About Visuals podcast, I'll not be reviewing, but rather plugging the brand new show on CBS called After Midnight that I watch on YouTube, obviously. It is the only nighttime talk show hosted by a woman on the American late night scene, and that woman is Taylor Tomlinson. This show is executive produced by Stephen Colbert. There are a few reasons why I'm putting this out. I'm not going to list out the reasons point by point, looking at this pod more to be a flowy kind of conversation. So, with that out of the way, let's begin. After Midnight is a beautiful, funny, and most importantly, light show. The world personally is bumming me out right now. So, to have a show that is light and funny and doesn't make me think about politics is my need of the hour. And I think the saturation of the American psyche, thanks to TikTok, will lead them to not watching the show, leading to it getting cancelled. And as much as I wish it was the case, CBS is not gonna make a show just for me. And what will we get if this gets cancelled? Another social commentary political satire show, or worse, a drama about cops or something, and no one wants one more of that. Now, that's not the only reason I felt compelled to put this pod out. I read the comments on YouTube, and as funny and new and novel as this show seems to be, it obviously will have its detractors. And from the comments, it is evident that there are those that are not yet sold on the format, which is cool. These can be won over. When Taylor, as a host, the writers, and the audience start getting into a groove, the show will settle nicely and it will have its own faithful rabid audience. I think it has the potential to be that kind of show. As one of the good comments mentioned, and I'm paraphrasing here, finally there is a show on American TV that is in the game show slash talk show space with a panel of comedians hosted by a comedian, things that are a common occurrence on British TV. Now, I get it that this show is inspired by yet another Comedy Central show from the early 2010s, but still, this kind of a show was missing on American TV, I guess. And now it's back, and I'm here for it. I personally love these British comedy panel shows. In fact, I've done a pod on one of them called 8 out of 10 Cats Does Countdown, where, like this, I just sing its praises. Do check it out if you're curious to know about what the Brits have been doing oh so well for years upon years. And the reason why I feel quite confident about After Midnight is because I have seen the growth of Cats Does Countdown, the shorter version of the name of the Brit show that I just mentioned. And trust me when I say this, they also took time to find their groove. And now the show is what, in its 25th season or something? So yeah, with time, After Midnight can either be niche or it can be mainstream. But for either to happen, it needs to be on air. So let's give it a chance, CBS and the American people. Now, that was for the quote unquote fair audience. There is also a group of people who just want Taylor to fail because of the strange, unheard of phenomenon called sexism. Shocking, I know. And for them, all I would like to tell is why don't you just hate watch this show, which will give it the ratings that it needs and deserves? Come on, do the show a solid. I know you have it in you. Let's go, people. On the whole, I'll be looking forward to the clips of this show that land up in a mishmash sequence on his YouTube channel on a daily basis, which is a stress buster for me, if not for anyone else. Check it out and tweet or threads or whatever, or comment at me with your opinions on the show. Let's have that conversation, people. Once again, my name is Kishore Ganesh. This is the Vocal About Visuals podcast, and thank you, my dear listeners, for your time and for listening. Please do give this podcast a follow on your preferred podcast platforms and on YouTube. Please do consider rating this podcast on Spotify or Apple Podcasts, which will lead other people to discover what I'm doing in my small little corner of the internet. Thank you.